You know, if you've got a website, it can sometimes feel like you're just flying blind, right? You create all this amazing content, you spend hours tweaking your pages, but what does Google actually think about it all? How are people really finding you? It's a frustrating feeling, but it really doesn't have to be this way.
I mean, here's the big question, the one that probably keeps you up at night sometimes. After all that work, is your website basically invisible to Google? And if people are finding it, what in the world are they typing in to get there? Without those answers, you're just throwing stuff at a wall and hoping it sticks. You need a direct line to the source.
And that's exactly what this is. Google Search Console, or GSC as we call it, is that direct line. It's a totally free tool, straight from Google, that's like a dashboard for your website's health and performance in search. Honestly, it's not a nice to have, it's absolutely essential.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to start by getting you connected to Google. Then we'll dive into tracking your performance. After that, we'll check your site's overall health, show you how to submit a roadmap, and finally, talk about how to use all this to really drive your website forward.
First things first, before you can drive the car, you gotta have the keys, right? This is a super simple, one-time setup that just proves to Google that you actually own your website. And that's what unlocks all this incredible data. The process itself is pretty straightforward. You just head over to the Search Console site, add your website as what they call a property, and then you verify it. Now, for all you WordPress users out there, listen up, because this is a total game changer. Google has an official plugin called SiteKit. You just install it, connect your Google account, and bam! It handles all the verification for you. It is by far the easiest way to get rolling.
Okay, so you're in. Now this is where it gets really fun. The performance report is basically your website's instrument cluster. You know, it's the speedometer, the tachometer. It tells you exactly how you're doing out there on the open road of Google search.
But before we hit the gas, we have to get one key term straight: impression. An impression happens on Google's side of the street, not yours. All it means is that a link to your site was shown on a search results page that a user looked at. That's it. They didn't have to click, they just had to see it.
And here's why that difference is so important. Think of it like this. An impression is someone window shopping. They saw your store, a click, that's them walking right through the door. This is what makes Search Console so powerful. It's the only place you can see all the window shoppers.
This table really breaks down the unique data you get. Sure, clicks are awesome, we love clicks, but the real gold, the info you can't get from Google Analytics or anywhere else, is everything else here. Queries, you get to see the actual words people are typing into Google. Impressions show you how visible you are, and average position, that data is only available right here in GSC.
Okay, so beyond just performance, GSC is also your website's main diagnostic tool. Just think of it like the check engine light in your car. It's going to tell you if something's wrong under the hood. Specifically, if your pages are even filed correctly in Google's giant library. You ever publish a brand new blog post, hit that publish button, and then just wonder, is Google even seeing this yet? Well, wonder no more. The URL inspection tool gives you an answer right away. No more guessing.
And using it could not be easier. You just copy the full web address of the page you're curious about, paste it into that search bar you see at the very top of Search Console, and hit enter. It then pulls the info straight from the source.
And if you see this beautiful green check mark, you're golden. It means Google has found your page, it's understood it, and it has successfully added it to its index. Your page is now eligible to show up in search results. This is what you always want to see.
But if you see this, well, that's your warning sign. This means your page is effectively invisible. It is not on Google, which means no one can find it through search. As far as Google's concerned, that page simply doesn't exist.
So why would that happen? The Pages report gives you all the details. Sometimes it's actually intentional, like if a page is a duplicate of another. But other times, it's a real problem, like a not found 404 error. One you'll see a lot is crawled currently not indexed. That's basically Google saying, yep, I saw your page, but I wasn't impressed enough to add it to my library just yet.
Now here's the cool part. You can be proactive about this. If you just updated a page or you fixed one of those errors we just saw, you can go to the URL inspection tool and click that Request Indexing button. It's like tapping Google on the shoulder and saying, hey, over here, I made this better, please come take another look. It can really help speed things up.
So we know how to check on individual pages, but what about your whole site? Especially if it's a big one. How do we make sure Google finds all the important stuff? Well, we give them a map. A sitemap is like giving Google's crawlers a GPS that points out all the must-see destinations on your website.
A sitemap is just a simple file, usually called sitemap.xml, and it contains a neat list of every single important URL on your site. So instead of making Google wander around, following links and hoping it doesn't miss anything, you're just handing them a complete directory.
And getting it to Google is ridiculously easy. Most websites and SEO plugins will just create this file for you automatically. All you have to do is go to the sitemap section in Search Console, type in the file name, again, usually just sitemap.xml, and click Submit. That's it. Google takes it from there.
All right, let's bring this all home. With Google Search Console, you're not driving in the dark anymore. You have the gauges, you have the diagnostic tools, and you have the map. You are finally, officially, in control of your website's journey.
So, here's your new simple routine. Every so often, pop into the performance report and see what's bringing you traffic. Whenever you publish new content, use the URL inspection tool to make sure it gets indexed. Keep an eye on the indexing report for any big site-wide errors, and just make sure your sitemap is submitted and up to date.
At the end of the day, that's what this is really all about. It completely changes your relationship with your website. You stop guessing, and you start making smart decisions based on real data, straight from the source. You become a proactive driver, not just a passenger hoping for the best. All this data is sitting there waiting for you, right now. It's free, it's powerful, and it's yours for the taking. So now that you have the keys to your website's dashboard, what's the very first thing you're going to go check? Will it be the surprising keywords people are using to find you, or the health of that important page you just launched? The answers are waiting.